Good morning. It is Tuesday, and it feels like a Monday to me because we took yesterday off, church holiday and Labor Day. Hope you had a good weekend and everything went well for you over the weekend and that you had a good holiday yesterday. Excuse me. Two things. One, before we get started, turn to Proverbs 1:33. That's where we're going to be in just a second. Two things. First, thank you for everybody that watched on Facebook Sunday, or either were here in person on Sunday, whether you were here inside or here in the parking lot listening and or watching out in your car. It is a great encouragement to us that are leading worship that you're here and participating. And we know this is not normal. We would all rather be inside, not being socially distanced and all those things. But you're still supporting the church and the worship, and that's a good thing. We want to say thank you for that. It encourages us to keep going. Secondly, right after church Sunday, I was told that the Brotherhood is going to have a breakfast this coming Sunday morning at 7:30 in the fellowship hall, and all men are invited. So I need to remind you of some things. First of all, we have everything in the church shut off between the fellowship hall and the sanctuary. So in order for you to get here in the breakfast Sunday morning, you'll need to go in the back door in the fellowship hall. If you park out front, you have to walk around the building and go in the back, because that will be the only entrance open, will be the back door. So be sure to do that. There'll be hand sanitizer and some masks back there if you need one. And just be sure you adhere to the guidelines. So we hope that some men will show up Sunday morning at 7:30 to eat breakfast together, if you can do that and if you're able. So I want to remind you that if you have any questions about that, call Billy Joe Holland or Steve Wyman, and they'll be able to tell you some more details than what I know. That's just all I know right now. So those are the two announcements. Now let's go to Proverbs 1:33. Proverbs 1:33. It says, "But whoever listens to me will dwell secure and will be at ease without dread of disaster." Now that's the last verse of the chapter, but you have to realize it's coded around the summary verse in verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, or in some translations it says beginning of wisdom. Wisdom and knowledge there are interchangeable. They mean the same thing. It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom in verse 7. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. And then leading down to that verse, Solomon says in verse 29, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. And then he gets to verse 33, but whoever listens to me will dwell secure and will be at ease without dread of disaster. Now that, what he is talking about, is an inward condition, because that's what happens when you begin to fear the Lord. You have wisdom, and it's inward. It's in your brain. It's in your heart. And you have that knowledge. What you will find in the biblical record is this: God does not have a single case in the biblical record where he wants people to throw their responsibility to him and their common sense about him out the door in order to demonstrate their own faith. That doesn't equal with who God is. You will find, though, God asking his people to do some strange things, like telling a guy to build a boat, because after he gets through building the boat, God's going to flood the earth and it's going to rain for the first time. That was a foreign concept, but that was an act of faith towards God and what God was about to do. So just like another example, later on you see that the people entered the promised land and God told them, don't do anything. First 6 days, just march around the city, blow your horns. And then on the seventh day, you're not going to have to do a thing. You're going to march around the city, and when I tell you to blow your horn, you blow your horn, and the walls of Jericho are going to fall. That was not an original battle plan that had ever been enacted before or since. And God made the walls fall, and they took the city. So that was an act of faith. They weren't demonstrating their own faith. They weren't demonstrating their own smarts or wisdom. They were demonstrating God's wisdom. And that's what happens when you use the common sense and responsibility that God has given you through his wisdom to act as you will in a world where we have a pandemic right now, where we have the struggles of life, where we have every issue going on around us. God calls us to use his wisdom, and it's an inward thing. It's inward. It's not outward. And yet, God still does what he asks us to do. And in many places in the Bible, it tells us, do not test God. The only place that it tells us to test God is to be sure that we give him back 10% of what he has given us. And when we give back the money, he says, will I not pour out my blessings from heaven? He said, test me in this. That's the only thing he tells us to test him in. We're not to test him by using our sense or our direction or whatever. We are to use his wisdom that comes here, like he says, from the fear of the Lord. And in verse 33, it says, whoever listens to me, that's inward. So I want to encourage you today, listen to God. Listen to him. What's he telling you to do in your situation? It's not going to go against his nature. It's not going to go against his word. But I want to encourage you that. That's where you will find the strength that you need to get through every day. Hope you have a great day. Y'all take care of each other. Stay safe. Continue to pray. Don't forget tomorrow is the middle of the week, even though it seems like it should be Tuesday tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We have prayer meeting tomorrow night. So hope we'll see you here tomorrow. God bless you. And Lord willing, we will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.